A lot of people in Kenya are facing huge financial problems right now. I don't know how it looks like on your end, but I can tell you it's not easy. As much as they try to paint a different picture on social media, just remember people post what they want you to see, not the reality of things. Today I'll be talking about some of the things, like 5 major financial problems that Kenyans are facing today. Stay with me. Hi, I'm Miss Maitaki and welcome back to my channel. I talk about personal finance, building wealth, money, life, without pretending that everything is just easy. Because it's not. If this is your first time here, please like, subscribe, share, comment, and don't forget to turn on notifications bell so that you're notified every time I upload another new video. Now, the biggest financial problems Kenyans are facing today. Number 1, surging cost of living and inflation. Inflation is stubbornly high. And this is because inflation stood at 6.4% in June 2026. And this is driven by the high costs of things like food and transport. So what does this mean? It means it erodes purchasing power. Since 2019, cumulative inflation, it has eroded our Kenya shilling value by nearly 50%. 50% is a huge number. Meaning, let's say something like 1,000 Kenya shillings back in 2019 is now worth roughly 670 bob in purchasing power. The second biggest problem is fuel prices and, of course, global shocks. Everyone knows about the fuel prices. They've become so high. You know, I laugh when I sit and hear people used to buy a liter of fuel at 90 shillings. Now, if you don't have 215 Kenya shillings, 214 roughly there, you don't even have a liter of fuel. And this is due to geopolitical tensions, Gulf conflict that keeps oil prices high. And that is globally. In Nairobi, in the city of Nairobi and its environs, price per liter is 214 Kenya shillings. 214 and 3 cents per liter. And diesel is 222 Kenya shillings, 0.8 per liter. Of course, when this happens, it affects things like transportation and production costs. Everyone everywhere needs transport for you to move from one place to another. We are using goods every day. So things have to be, there's mass production of stuff everywhere. So these elevated prices of fuel and oil, they increase prices when it comes to things like transport fares for the kawaida person or for the normal person, and the cost of production for manufacturers, which is passed on to customers, people like you and me. And you really can't blame them. You'll be angry, but you really can't blame them. Because now, what happens is, when pressure comes from above, the lowest people, the consumers, they are the ones who feel the pain. Because everyone else on the chain is just passing it on to the next one. And that's why I talk about, just make sure one way or another you are not at the bottom of the chain. Because if you are, you will absorb a lot of losses, a lot of pain, a lot of things that you shouldn't be going through. You're the one who will be sitting in front of people and explaining, how rough it is or how bad it is. Another big problem is the increased tax burden. For instance, the new Finance Act 2026. New or expanded taxes took effect July 1st, 2026. This means there's increased costs in things like digital financial services, card transactions, and expanding capital gains tax. We all know of the higher taxes, the new taxes on digital payment platforms that were not there before. As I said, that ATM card fees and expanded definitions of royalties, meaning money leaves faster from our pockets and our businesses face higher compliance costs. Where does that leave the common person? Number 4, staple food prices. There's a high food inflation, non-core inflation that is driven by food and energy. Do you know it stood by 15.1% as of June? Things like staple foods saw significant year-on-year increases. Cabbages rose 43.4%, kale at 25.9%, and maize grain at 15.2%. And when you listen to that, these are foods that the common person eats. These are foods that are consumed every day at a very high rate. So where does that leave the vulnerable households? That means over 3.3 million Kenyan households right now face severe food insecurity. So that means other businesses are suffering because most households are allocating most of their money or more of their budget just to eat. Number 5 biggest problem, like the last one, is poverty and income squeeze. There's millions of people who are pushed into poverty. The World Bank, last time I checked, estimates that 1 to 2.4 million more Kenyans have fallen below the poverty line. And this is just in the last 6 months due to the high cost of living. Those are a lot of people. Those are so many households. Flat incomes. With wages, most places remaining stagnant. They are not moving, they are not growing. Meaning people are earning less by the day because their income doesn't stretch as far to cover something as simple as basic needs. Those are some of the biggest financial problems that we are facing as Kenyans right now. The biggest pain, cost of living. Just existing is becoming very expensive. Prices of everything and taxes everywhere. They're squeezing everyone. The theme here is not like to get rich quick schemes and stuff like that. No. It's more like how to survive. The question is, how do you survive when your income doesn't stretch? What do you do? Who do you call? What changes do you have to make? Because something has to give, But one thing I need for you to know is that pressure is everywhere. It's not only you who's feeling it. We are all seeing it. We are all feeling it. From food to rent, school fees, even transport. A place you used to pay 70 shillings now is 100. Now the other day, because of fuel prices, you pay 150 Kenya shillings. Imagine spending 300 Kenya shillings on transport for one day only, just because you needed to go somewhere to and fro. Somewhere, like 6 or 7 years ago, you used to pay maybe 50 shillings. The difference is too huge. The difference is massive. And that's why nowadays, you'll feel like people are stingy or people are selfish. But it's not because they don't care or they don't want to help. It's because we've reached a point where every shilling counts. Apparently, nobody has that extra shilling. And can you blame them? Because if they are fueling, if they are moving around, they are affected by prices of food, transport, rent, all these things. Because they gotta eat, they have to move around. So can you really blame anyone anyway? We should stop blaming each other. Okay. Even that business owner, the reason as to why the price of unga, the price of something as simple like sanitary towels is increasing, they are not the problem. Okay. Bottom line is, as much as these are financial problems that affects each and every individual, of course at a personal level, the question still remains, what do you do to put yourself in a better place? Okay. Because the way things are going, there's people who would see like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Some of us don't see that light at the end of the tunnel. And can you blame the people who don't see the light at the end of the tunnel? What if things don't become better? And you know the problem is, when prices of stuff rises, it never goes down. It remains like that. So it's for us, as much as we are trying to build wealth to make more money, be hungry for more knowledge, learn new skills, do something that will improve your finances or put you in a better place financially. Okay. As an individual, you might not be able to change or make much difference about the price of fuel. You know, cost of production, manufacturers, how they're pricing things. No. There's things, as one person, you know, that's why you're told, know which battles to fight. Personally, as Koi, I might not be able to make much difference for the fuel prices to be slashed into half or to go back to 150 Kenya shillings per litre. I might not be able to do that. But what is it that I can do for me to be able to afford this new price? Okay. What is it that I can do to make room, you know, to make my life a bit easier, so that these big problems don't seem as massive? I do know it's not easy. They say nothing good comes easy. So it's not easy. But a solution must be found. So I don't know what you try to do to ease that problem, especially when it comes to your household. Or if you'd like to share how, you know, if you feel like you don't want to gatekeep, please share with us on the comment section. I'd love to read from you. Yeah. Other than that, that's it for us today. I'm Miss Moitati, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.